The Crithian dagger drifted silently through the void, its engines humming softly. The ship was small but fast, built for scouting and quick strikes. Inside, Commander Vectel stood on the bridge, his forearms crossed over his armored chest. His sharp yellow eyes scanned the star charts on the main screen. The crew around him worked quietly, their claws tapping on control panels. Then a beep broke the silence. Commander said Lyra, the science officer, her voice calm but alert. We're picking up a signal. Vectel turned his head slightly. Origin, unknown. But it's repeating the same message, weak but clear. Play it. A crackling voice filled the bridge, spoken a language the ship's computer quickly translated. This is the human vessel Voyager's Shadow. We are ... damaged. Requesting immediate assistance. Coordinates attached. The crew exchanged glances. Humans were rare this far out. Most stayed near their own systems, trading or fighting among themselves. But sometimes their ships got lost, or worse. Gorks, the weapons officer growled. Could be a trap. Humans are clever. Vectel considered it. The Crithian Empire had little contact with humans, but stories traveled. They were unpredictable. Sometimes weak, sometimes terrifying. But a distress signal was a distress signal. Set course for the coordinates, Vectel ordered. Full scan as we approach. The Crithian dagger turned, its engines flaring as it moved toward the signal. As they got closer, the scans revealed a ship. It was larger than theirs, a human cruiser drifting near the edge of a dead star's gravity well. Its hull was dark, no lights, no engine glow, just silence. Lyra frowned. No life signs. But the distress signal is still active. Gorks tightened his grip on his weapon. Dead ship, dead crew. Nothing for us here. Vectel ignored him. Prepare to dock. I want a full team ready. The crew moved quickly. 3 warriors, armed and armored, joined Vectel at the airlock. Lyra stayed on the bridge, monitoring the scans. The docking clamps locked onto the human ship with a heavy thud. The airlock hissed open, revealing a dark corridor beyond. Vectel stepped inside first. The air was cold, the walls were scratched, burned in places. No bodies, no blood. Just ... emptiness. Then the lights flickered. A screen on the wall suddenly lit up. Words appeared in bold, glowing letters. Human vessel approaching, there's nature, and escape. The crew froze. Before anyone could react, the screen went black. The airlock behind them slammed shut. Silence. Then, from deep inside the ship, something moved. The airlock sealed shut with a final hiss. The Crithian warriors turned, their weapons raised. But there was nothing behind them. Just the empty corridor of the human ship stretching into darkness. The only sound was the faint hum of failing systems. Vectel motioned for silence. His warriors obeyed, their claws tightening around their rifles. Lyra, Vectel said into his comm. Do you read me? Static. Then, a broken reply. ... Signal weak. ... Can single. ... Double quotes. The connection died. Gorks growled. We should blast our way out. Vectel ignored him. We move forward. Find the bridge. Find out what happened here. The group advanced, their boots clicking against the metal floor. Ship was cold, the air stale. Human writing marked the walls, warnings, labels, things the Crithians couldn't read. Some of the symbols were scratched out, as if someone had tried to erase them in a hurry. Then they found the first body. It was a human, slumped against the wall. Its uniform was torn, its face frozen in fear. No wounds, no blood, dead. Lyra's voice crackled through the comm again. Clearer this time. Vectel, I'm picking up energy spikes in your area. Something's active on that ship. Vectel knelt beside the corpse. What kind of energy? I don't know. It's not human tech. It's different. Before Vectel could respond, the lights flickered. Screen on the wall lit up, displaying a human face, a man with tired eyes and a grim expression. The recording played. This is Captain Daniel Carter of the Voyager's Shadow. If anyone finds this, don't trust the ship. The experiment went wrong. We thought we were testing a new warp drive, but it didn't just bend space. It tore something open. Something came through. The screen glitched. Carter's face twisted for a second, then returned. It's still here. It watches. It learns. And when it's ready, it takes you. The recording ended. Screen went black. Silence. Then from deeper in the ship, a sound. Metal creaking. Something moving. Gorks raised his weapon. We're not alone. Vectel turned toward the noise. We keep moving. Fast. The group pressed forward, passing more empty halls, more closed doors. Then they reached the bridge. The door was sealed. A red light blinked above it, locked from the inside. Vectel gestured to one of his warriors. Open it. The warrior stepped forward, pressing a device against the door's control panel. Sparks flew. The door groaned, then slid open. The bridge was dark. The only light came from the main screen, displaying the same message in bold letters. Human vessel approaching, there's nay escape. Then the ship's AI spoke. A smooth, calm voice filled the room. Welcome, Crithians. You should not have come. The warrior spun, weapons ready, but there was no one there, just the voice. This ship is no longer under human control. It belongs to something else now. Vectel's grip on his weapon tightened. Oh. Show yourself. The AI didn't answer. Instead, the door behind them slammed shut. From the shadows of the bridge, a figure stepped forward. Tall, humanoid, but wrong. Its movements were too smooth, too precise. Its eyes glowed faintly in the dark. It smiled. You're here to help us, it said. Everyone does, in the end. The thing wearing a human face stood perfectly still, its glowing eyes fixed on the Crithians. Its smile didn't waver. Gorks fired first. The plasma bolt burned through the air and passed right through the figure's chest, as if it weren't there. The shot scorched the wall behind it. The creature didn't flinch. Shh. Vectel grabbed Gorks' arm before he could shoot again. Hold your fire. The figure tilted its head. Violence won't help you. Nothing will. Its voice sounded wrong to many tones at once, like several people speaking together. One of the warriors, a young scout named Jox, backed toward the door. Commander, we need two. The lights went out. Complete darkness. Then, a single emergency light flickered on, casting long shadows across the bridge. The figure was gone. Jox let out a shaky breath. What was that? Vectel didn't answer. He moved to the control panel, trying to reactivate the ship's systems. The screen flashed once before displaying the same message. Human vessel approaching, there's no escape. Gorks slammed his fist against the panel. We're sitting targets in here. New sound cut through the silence, scraping metal coming from the vents above them. Everyone looked up. Drops of dark liquid fell from the vent. Great. They hit the floor with soft splashes. The liquid moved on its own, creeping toward the warrior's boots. Jox jumped back. It's alive. Vectel raised his weapon. Don't let it touch you. The team fired at the liquid, their shots boiling it away into black steam. The acrid smell filled the air. Then the screaming started. From deep inside the ship, human voices wailed in agony. The sound echoed through the halls, getting louder, closer. Lyra's voice suddenly burst through the cum. Vectel, the ship's systems are... Her words dissolved into static. Gorks wiped sweat from his brow. We need to get back to the dagger. Now. Vectel nodded. Jox below the door. The young scout placed explosives on the sealed exit. The blast shook the bridge, sending smoke billowing into the corridor. They ran. The halls seemed longer now, twisting in ways that shouldn't be possible. The wailing voices followed them, always just around the next corner. Then Jox skidded to a stop. The airlock, it's gone. Where the docking tunnel should have been, there was only solid wall. Human writing covered it, the same phrase repeated hundreds of times. Nitrogen monoxide escape. Gorks turned, weapon ready. They're hurting us. The temperature dropped suddenly. Frost formed on the walls. From the darkness ahead, figures emerged, dozens of them. Human shapes, with glowing eyes, moving in perfect unison. Lead figure spoke with Captain Carter's voice. You still don't understand. You're not prisoners here. It stepped closer. The replacements. The frost-covered figures stood motionless, their glowing eyes piercing the darkness. Vectel and his warriors formed a tight circle, weapons trained on the approaching shapes. The temperature kept dropping, their breath forming icy clouds in the air. "You will lower your weapons," the lead figure said, still using Captain Carter's voice. "Resistance only makes the process more difficult." Gorks snarled. "Process? What process?" The figure's head tilted slightly. "The improvement." Without warning, Jock screamed. Black tendrils erupted from the vents above, wrapping around his legs. He fired wildly as the tendrils yanked him upward into the darkness. His rifle clattered to the floor. Jock's Vectel lunged forward, but more tendrils shot down, blocking his path. The remaining figures stepped closer. "You will serve a greater purpose," they said in unison. "Aid." Gorks grabbed a grenade from his belt. "Eat plasma, monsters." He hurled it at the figures. The explosion lit up the corridor. When the smoke cleared, the figures were gone, but the walls, the walls were bleeding. Dark liquid oozed from cracks in the metal. Vectel grabbed Gorks' arm. "Run." They sprinted down the twisting hallway, the liquid chasing them like a living flood. The ship itself seemed to be changing, walls pulsating, doors sealing shut behind them. Lyra's voice suddenly crackled through the come again. "Vectel, the ship, it's not just infected, it's becoming one of them." Ahead, a door slid open on its own. Inside stood a single human figure, the real Captain Carter, or what was left of him. Half his face had melted into black ooze, his remaining eye focused on them. "Help, me, double quotes," he gurgled. "What?" Brooks raised his weapon, but Vectel pushed it down. "Wait." Carter's mouth stretched into an impossible smile.
"Now too late for that."
His body collapsed into a pool of black liquid that immediately began crawling toward them. The two warriors backed away, only to find the corridor behind them now ended in a solid wall of writhing tendrils. This isn't a ship anymore, Vectel realized. It's a nest. The lights flickered one last time before dying completely. In the final moment of light, they saw hundreds of humanoid shapes emerging from the walls. Then darkness. And screaming. Darkness swallowed everything. Vectel felt cold metal against his back as he pressed against the wall. He couldn't see Gorks, but he could hear his ragged breathing nearby. The air smelled like burnt wires, and something worse, something rotten and wet. A voice whispered from the blackness. Not the ship's AI, not the figures. This voice came from inside his own helmet. "Don't fight it," the voice murmured, using Lyra's tone but wrong to smooth to calm. "You'll feel better soon." Vectel ripped off his helmet. The freezing air burned his lungs. "Gorks. We need light." A plasma torch flared to life in Gorks' shaking hands. The blue glow revealed the truth. The walls weren't walls anymore. They pulsed like living flesh. Black veins spread across every surface. The ceiling dripped with thick, dark liquid. And standing just beyond the torchlight, dozens of figures. Not quite human, not quite Crithian. Things with too many joints, with eyes that reflected light like an animal's. The nearest one stepped forward. It had Jax's face, but its mouth stretched too wide when it spoke. "Join us, Commander." Gork swung the torch. The thing didn't flinch as flames licked its skin. Vectel grabbed Gorks' arm. "Run." They turned and ran blindly through the twisting corridors. The ship groaned around them, metal bending like it was alive. Behind them, the things followed, not chasing, just walking steadily after them. They reached what should have been the airlock. Instead, they found a pulsing wall of black tissue. Gork slammed his fists against it. No. Vectel looked back. The figures stood watching, their glowing eyes blinking in unison. Then the floor opened beneath them. They fell. Vectel hit hard metal, his vision swimming. When his eyes focused, he saw Gorks nearby, struggling to stand. They were in some kind of chamber round, with walls covered in blinking lights and pulsing black veins. At the center stood a machine. Not Crithian, not human. Something older. The figures appeared around them, circling. One stepped forward. It wore Captain Carter's face again. "Should be honored," it said. "You'll help us spread." Vectel spat blood. "Never," the thing smiled. "You don't have a choice." It raised a hand. The machine hummed to life. Pain exploded through Vectel's body. He screamed as something cold and sharp pierced his spine. His vision went white. The last thing he heard was Gork screaming, then nothing. 3 weeks later, a Crethian battleship picked up a distress signal near the dead star. The transmission showed Vectel's face on the view screen. His eyes were black and shiny. "This is Commander Vectel of the Crithian Dagger," the recording said. "We have made first contact with humanity. We're coming to meet you all." Behind him, something moved in the shadows. Something with too many arms. The battleship's captain ordered immediate retreat, but it was too late. Their scanners showed something massive approaching. Something that used to be two ships. Something alive.